Shalom to you and welcome. In this video, you will learn we'll use number lines to compare rational numbers and then find the opposites and absolute value of numbers. Our objective again is to graph real numbers on a number line and then compare them and then use the opposites and absolute values. We can use number line to compare numbers by graphing the numbers, that is putting a point that has that number on a number line, and then we look at them from left to right. Any number on the left is less than any number on the right. For example, this is the symbol for greater than and this is the symbol for less than. So for example, 0 would be, is it less than or greater than -9? We look at 0. Is 0 on the right of -9 or is on the left? 0 is on the right of -9 because -9 is down here. 0 on the right of it. So 0 would be greater than. So 0 would be greater than -9. And then how about -8? Is -8 less than or greater than -1? Well, -8 is right here. From -8 we go to -1. -8 is on the left of -1. -8 is on the left of -1. So it's going to be less. So how about -5 and -4? So -5 and -4. -5 is on the left of -4. Again, -5 is on the left of -4, so -5 will be less than -4. How about -10 and 0.1? Well, -10 will be down here. Here you have -10. So it's -10, 0.1 is positive, so it's going to be between 0 and 1, just a tiny bit here. So -10 is on the left of 0.1. So -10 will be less than 0.1. How about 1/2 and 1/3? When you have a fraction, it's good either you make them have a common denominator before you know which one is bigger, or you can change them all into decimal. Okay? But we know both 1/2 and 1/3 is going to be between 0 and 1. 1/2 is halfway. Directly halfway. Or 1/3 would be if we divide this into 3 equal parts. So 1/3, 1/2 is going to be on the right of 1/3. Okay, 1/2 is on the right of 1/3. So 1/2 is greater than 1/3. Name a positive or negative number for each measurement. A gain of 17 yards. Okay, watch the word gain. Gain means plus. So it's going to be positive 17. A loss of $300. So loss is negative. So it's going to be -300. It's in an integer form. Next, graph the numbers and then list them in increasing order. We have a mix of positive and negative numbers, fractions and decimals. So the first thing I will encourage you to do is sort all the negatives and all the positives. So, and then you compare all the positives and compare all the negatives. So I will just, for now, just use, I will circle all the positives. 1.5, 2, 3, and that's it. The rest are negative. So then you always start from 0. If you go start from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, start from 0, -1, -2, but always start from 0. It's very helpful. So you are going from 0 to the right or from 0 to the left. So you go from 0 to 1. Is there any number between 0 and 1 here? No. 1 to 2. Is there any number between 1 to 2 here? Yes, 1.5 is there. So 1.5 is right in the middle here. So we put dot there. This is 1.5. Okay. And then between 2 and 3, we have exactly 2 here. So we put a dot at 2. Okay, we have it. Well, if it is already written there, we don't really have to write this, but if it is not written like 1.5, we write it. Okay, 3 is exactly 3, so we put a dot at 3. Okay, so that's it. And then the negative. So from now, right now, we can see that 3 is the number to the right most, so it's going to be the greatest. So let's get out the negative. Again, it's very helpful to change this to decimal. If we change that to decimal, divide, that's gonna give us 1.33. So this will be 1.33 repeating, and this is still negative. And then this is 4, this is 2. Okay, so we start from 0, we go left. Between 0 and 1, we don't have any. 0 and negative 1, we don't have any. Between negative 1 and negative 2, we are going to get negative 1.33. So it's going to be somewhere here. But make sure you write the original number is negative 4 over 3. And then between negative 2 and negative 3, we have negative 2.75, which is closer to negative 3 because it's more than negative 2.5. So it's going to be about there. So it's negative 2.75. And then we have negative 4, which is right here. Okay, and now we can arrange them in order. Make sure we have all our numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, it's always good to cross-check, count to make sure you have everything. So now the list is going to be negative 4, followed by negative 2.75, followed by negative 4 over 3, followed by 1.5, followed by 2, and followed by 3. This is in order from least to greatest. It's increasing for 2. Alright, which is smaller? Negative 44. Okay, both of them are negative. So we're going to go from 0 to negative 5, 10, 15, 20, 40. So it's between negative 40 and negative 45. So, and if you notice, negative 44.4 is closer to negative 0.5 there. And then negative 43 will be about here. So negative, the one that is smaller, so the smaller is more to the left. So the smaller will be negative 44.4 because it's on the left of negative 43. So that's the smaller. Okay, opposites and absolute values. Well, absolute value is how far the distance a number is away from 0. So the absolute value of 4 is 4 because 4 is 4 units away from 0. The absolute value of negative 3 is 3 because it's 3 units away from 0. Absolute value is always distance, is a length, so it's always positive. And opposites are two numbers that have the same absolute value. For example, absolute value of negative 6 is 6, absolute value of 6 is 6. So positive 6 and negative 6 are opposites. Do not confuse opposites and absolute value. We write absolute value with positive number, but opposites, we write them with negative or positive. So absolute value of 6 is, opposite of 6 is negative 6. Opposite of negative 6 is 6. Okay, translate each into symbols. The opposite of negative 3 is greater than the opposite of 2. Okay, we hear the word greater, so make a symbol. So the opposite of negative 3, we use the sign, the word opposite, we use negative. So opposite of negative 3. So we read it, opposite of negative 3 is greater than opposite of 2. Opposite of 2. So that's what you're asked to write. If you are to simplify it, then you're going to simplify. The opposite of negative 3 is 3. because the opposite of negative is 3, and then the opposite of 2 is negative 2. And that makes sense. 3 is greater than negative 2. Alright, the absolute value of 6 is less than. So we have less than. The absolute value of 6. So the symbol for absolute value. Less than the absolute value of negative 20. So that's what you're asked to write. And if you're to simplify it, absolute value of 6 is 6. And the absolute value of negative 20 is 20. So that makes sense because 6 is less than 20. So the absolute value of 6 is less than the absolute value of negative 20. Now simplify. When you simplify, work inside out, okay, like we do in the order of operation. So simplify the parentheses before you consider the outside. So 12 minus 12 is 0. So this is opposite of 0 is 0. 0 is neither negative or positive, so it has no opposite. So here we have two parentheses, two brackets. So opposite of 4. Opposite of 4 is negative 4. Opposite of 4 is negative 4, and then opposite of negative 4 is 4. Okay? Hope you're getting this. Now here, find the absolute value first. Absolute value of 2.6 is 2.6 plus the absolute value of negative 0.4 is 0.4. And then you add. Okay, because you're adding them. So we have 0 and 3. 3 is your answer. Okay, remember that left is less. No number on the left on the number line is less than the number on the right. Absolute value is how far away a number is from 0. Opposite numbers have the same absolute value. Okay, thanks for watching.